Fallen. Fallen. Let us end this. Yes. Very well. What is it that drives you? I confess its nature eludes me as well, but the bond is strong, and its roots run deep. It seems that at times of stress and pain, if they catch us unawares, then the pain is transmitted between us. It seems the force flows easily between us. When one of us manipulates the force to heal or strengthen ourselves, the other is aided as well. A powerful technique indeed, though, as we have noticed, it has its drawbacks. Ask. Does it matter? Of course it does. Such titles allow you to break the galaxy into light and dark, categorize it. Perhaps I am neither, and I hold both as what they are, pieces of a whole. Know that I am your teacher, and that is enough. Or what? Shall you kill me? Hurt me? Or perhaps you will simply cut. A discussion, perhaps, for another time.
Yes? You may have. We attend Atris. It is the duty of all of us, from the first of my sisters to me, the last of the handmaidens. I am the last of the handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day that will no longer be true. That is not entirely correct. There are times I am distracted. Perhaps, once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts. There is much knowledge on Telos, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy. To the Echani, battle is a means of communication. It is an art, in the truest sense of the word. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause. Yes, the methods you use to meet your opponents speak truer than any words can express. When you risk pain or death, there is no truer sacrifice or strength. It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. it was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Taris was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry or strokes upon a canvas. He spoke through battle and tactics in a way one could never do in words. He showed his heart at Malachor V, and finally, at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe he was speaking to Malak in that final battle, though few knew it. What stronger display than death for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed. I would have wished to have been there for that final exchange, and seen the truth of their conflict with each other. But to say that seems an untruth, based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not? If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true.
Yes?
I'm here.
Focus.
Let us test ourselves.
Poison. This will teach you. Let us end this. Yes. What is it?
I'm here.
I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic, although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist. Like you, I was looking for some trace of the Jedi. I had heard mention that one of the Jedi Masters had gone there, but I found no trace of them. The other reason was the ruins of the Jedi Enclave, and once I arrived, I felt it was necessary to stay, to protect what was left. Much had been taken from the Enclave, both by raiders and others. I wished to preserve what I could. Many artifacts were taken from the Enclave, but these thefts, they had to have been done by someone who knew the Enclave well. I suspect the Jedi themselves took the holocrons and records, but I do not know why.
I think you underestimate the ingenuity of salvagers. Even the Jedi cannot protect their secrets from those clever or persistent enough. Besides, the Jedi who knew the Enclave are mostly perished, and the ones who survived would not steal from this place.
It was my mistake to use the term thefts. I apologize. In any case, if Jedi did take things, for the sake of preservation, of course, then they left no clue as to where they may have taken them. Someone has been taking holocrons from sites across the galaxy. It was almost as if someone does not want their knowledge used to find the Jedi. The situation on Dantooine is echoed in other places in the galaxy. Raiders, smugglers, all seek to plunder what remains of the Jedi, and even the Sith. More so than the Jedi themselves, I fear the loss of their history. Much has been forgotten in recent wars, and I fear that greater troubles shall stem from that loss of knowledge in the future. The destruction of the Academy on Ossus near the Kron Drift in the Sith War, the teachings of Master Arca, the adventures of Jolee Bindo on the Rimward missions. All of these things are in danger of being lost forever. What else would you like to know? No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work, something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days. It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies. Hate? No. I do not hate them. They only raise questions without answers. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose in all things, and they are supposed to train students responsibly and well so mistakes of the past are not repeated. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this. Many Jedi defied the Order during the Mandalorian Wars, and it paved the way for the Jedi Civil War. There is no blame. All must accept. But, at its core, one must wonder if it was the failure of the Jedi teachings or the teachers themselves. Many of the Jedi Council trained Exar Kun, Ulic, Revan, and Malak. How could they not see the danger they posed? And if they could not, perhaps there was some essential part of their teachings that was flawed. Something beyond the Jedi Code that they were missing. I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish me to explain? Revan was captured in the middle of the Jedi Civil War, due in no small part to his apprentice Malak, who turned on him. Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. You must understand that the situation was desperate, and the Jedi needed to know how Revan had amassed the forces arrayed against them. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart, but it was only for a time. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. I suspect it was out of revenge. Revan had many masters. Zar, Dorak, Master Kay before Kay left for the wars. Towards the end of his training, he sought out many to learn techniques. It is said that he returned to his first master at the end of his training in order to learn how he might best leave the Order. What else would you like to... I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters. The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive the same reconstruction efforts. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the Rim. Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. It's almost as if Revan didn't want to attack it. Its resources and position on the Rim make it a vital supply line and guard post against Outer Rim attacks. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Onderon's wildlife is some of the most aggressive in the known galaxy. Merely placing some of those beasts on target worlds will guarantee their habitation for years to come. The Jedi are a symbol. As much damage as their reputation took during the Sith War and the Jedi Civil War, there are still many who they serve as an example. Plus, there have been times in the past where a single Jedi has been enough to change the face of a world, or a galaxy. I suppose I still believe that might be possible. Despite the betrayal of many of the Jedi against the Republic, I must concede that as figureheads, they do serve a vital role. What else would you like to know? I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time. What else would you like to know? Before you go, I had a question for you. You came to Dantooine in search of Jedi. Why? If the Sith are rising in the galaxy again, then it is strange the Jedi would not be there to meet them, and that we have not seen more evidence of the Sith. No, I believe you. I merely find such subtleties among the Sith to be strange. They have been known to practice deception, but in the histories, since the time of the Dark Lords Khun and Keldroma, and Revan and Malak, such subtleties have been rare. I will return to Kunda now and await the next transport. You may find me there if you have more questions. I am an historian. Before you... I will return to Kunda now and await the next transport. You may find me there if you have more questions.
Yes?
Yes?
What is it?
Yes?
Braved the perils of the sublevel, yes. Many stories and artifacts in your possession. This is fortuitous for myself and associates. For now, not only do I get rich salvage, but an even richer bounty. Do not be making this difficult. Your death can be quite painless. So, this is your threat? Is Terra what I'm supposed to feel? We know a thing about Jedi and their ways. And now, Jedi, we shall fight.
I see you. Yes? Yes?
Ready.
I hear you.
Yes?
Jaren knew the risks. He wouldn't do anything different if he was in our situation.
You came back from the sublevels alive. Only been a couple.
Ah, the Traveler has returned. I hope the Dantooine is... So, what...
Who is that? Oh, it's you. You go down into the sublevels yet? Or did you suddenly develop some sense? It's a shame about them. Have any luck getting to their bodies? I figure there's about no chance you'll succeed, but the reward is still open. You have? You managed to find them down there? You're tougher than you look. I have 1,000 credits for their bodies and their personal effects. You've proven very helpful. I have something I have to do. Come back if you want to talk again.
What is it?
Ready.
I hear you.
Yes?
What is it?
Ready.
Yes?
Focus.
What is it?
This shall not stop us for long.
Let us test ourselves. This will teach you.
This shall not stop us for long.
This will teach you. This will teach you. This will teach you.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them like a shiver running through you.
This place affects me strangely. There is a tingling in my forehead.
Force-sensitive locations such as this absorb and reflect force energy. The crystals are the catalyst here. I sense that Revan once passed through here, leaving a strong impression behind in the crystals. Perhaps future Jedi who visit this cave will feel our presence, as if seeing our footprints preserved in the soil. The crystals here are infused with the Force. Some could be harvested and used for lightsabers. The crystals here do not drain Force energy from Jedi. They collect the excess energy that radiates from those attuned to the Force. Yes.
I'm here.
crystal responds to you. This is very rare indeed. The crystal's bond with you is such that the stronger you become in the Force, the more powerful your crystal will grow. This crystal will make an excellent focus for a lightsaber. Quite the contrary. Picture yourself as a sieve, and the Force as water pouring into you. This crystal draws from the excess water that escapes the sieve. The crystal is in tune with you. It will use whatever water that pours through you, be it dark or light. Yes?
Yes?
I hear you.
Ready.
Yotapak mito, haibes nikta tochim mapauk. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima orata wakata. Kavadumpa, mo wendido chokerembi norta kunyun wish. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima orata wakata. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima orata wakata. Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak miki baranyeto so. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima orata wakata. Chilumalisba. Charika yayakta min sop. Kavanatakalu. Kavanami donki. Puta yanolia. Chukta genechu bawanki najung wino. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima orata wakata. Chilumalisba. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima orata wakata. Chilumalisba. Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak miki baranyeto so rika chondin. Yatuka uwanrika chotin wanima or charika yayakta. Yotapak mito, haibes nikta tochim mapao krawenosh.
What is it? What is it?
Halt, settler. This is a restricted area. How the hell did you get through the Kinrath? You should leave. This isn't kidnapping, this is bounty hunting. This Jedi is worth a lot of credits on Nar Shaddaa, and we're collecting. I'm gonna say this nice and simple for your little calf-hurting head. Unless you want to wind up dead, leave now. What? That's a Jedi trick. We trained against that during the war. It's a Jedi, man. Kill him before he tries something else.
Yes.
This will teach you. This shall not stop us for long.
Always rushing into action without thinking of the consequences. What? You're expecting thanks? Khunda is in danger, and you've ruined the best chance of averting a full-scale conflict. Though perhaps that was your intent. Don't think that I can't sense the taint of the dark side in you. It is difficult to perceive with the Force here on Dantooine, but it does not conceal your nature completely. Is this a joke to you? People's lives are at stake. Every action has consequences, no matter how small or insignificant they seem. And even the smallest choice has the potential for harm. The Mandalorian Wars was proof of this. Intentions mean nothing if a greater tragedy is caused. Did you think rushing into battle against the Mandalorians did anything but bring more harm to the galaxy? It only served to bring about a second war more dangerous than the first. Countless Jedi died in both conflicts, and everyone who followed Revan and Malak died or returned to the dark side. Except, conveniently, you. You were always difficult to read. As a Padawan, and again at your trial, and perhaps more so now that we are here on Dantooine. If you wish to prove yourself, then do so. Khunda's in danger and they need our help. The mercenaries have allied themselves with the Exchange and are planning to attack Khunda. They've been holding off for the right moment, and now since they lost their captive Jedi, they'll attack immediately. I'm going to try to reach Administrator Adari. Time is of the essence.
Yes?
Ready.
You are the Jedi I've heard reports of, and I am Azkul, leader of the mercenaries on Dantooine. That is correct, and I want you to help me. You don't need to know the details, but I can tell you there are a lot of credits involved. According to my reports, I have 4 times as many soldiers as the militia, and I'm committed to taking Kunda. It is inevitable that I will succeed. If you wish to avoid my men eradicating the people of Dantooine, you will make it easier for me to take Kunda. Of course, I will pay well for your services. There are many ways someone with your abilities can aid us. Before the action begins, I have 2 main tasks in mind for you. Disable the gun turrets and the traps. When the militia learns of our attack, they will plant traps around the entrances to Kunda. Disable them. Decide quickly. I have a slaughter to plan. Deal with the turrets, however you see fit. Just keep them from pestering my men. Decide quick. Return to me when you are ready for us to begin our assault. I warn you not to keep me waiting.
Well maneuvered. With both the mercenaries and the militia counting on your aid, you can influence the outcome of the situation as you see fit.
I hope you aren't intending to support that monster. They will slaughter the citizens of Kunda. And I am glad. I still disapprove of your actions. Using the tools of deception and manipulation will lead you to the dark side.
You have grown to be warm, but I sense a disquiet in you. They sense the trappings of power and decision upon you. Their lives are static, trapped, and they see one who carries no such chains. Ah, then you have learnt nothing. From such small things, from such critical points, the universe and its masses may be moved. That is why you must be careful in all that you do, and in every choice you make. Aiding them gives you strength by taking on their challenges, but weakens them. If that is your choice, then use their dependency, feed upon it, until you have exhausted them. Then leave them. And I would view the ones you travel with much the same way. So you may think, but it will be best to strike first. Your allies are allies by circumstance, and they will not hesitate to do the same to you if you continue down your path.
Are you ready? I won't. You heard the Jedi. Move out, men. Come on, Jedi. You're leading the first wave.
I should have stopped you long ago. Your machinations end here, outcast. No more words. Defend yourself or perish.
Are you ready? You have... Come on.
I should... No more word!
Are you ready? You come on. Are you ready? You come on.
I should... No more...
You have him on the defensive. He uses the Sheen form. Study his movements carefully and try to emulate them. This form will be useful when you face multiple opponents or ranged attack. Sheen also allows you to make more devastating critical attacks.
Are you arrogant enough to think you can divide your attention while fighting me? You think you can learn my technique just by watching me? It takes a Jedi Master years to perfect it. It's not possible. You must be stopped.
I'm here.
I hear you.
Are you ready? I won't. You'd better reconsider. I can't have a Jedi interfering with my plans. There is a considerable bounty on your kind that I will collect on unless you're working for me.
You could have guided the situation to a better outcome.
I applaud your conviction. A lesser person might have deceived these brutes to avoid battle.
Men, I trust you can handle this Jedi.
This shall not stop us for long.
What? You shouldn't sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be out of here anyway. This is Kinrath territory. A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the Western Fringe farmers was coming to Kunda on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try to figure out if that's what really happened. I do. The Kinrath are dangerous. But as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch you. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe our man just got sloppy. We really need those atmospheric sensors. I don't suppose you'd be willing to keep an eye out for something, It's technical. I doubt you'd understand it. But I'd really appreciate your help. I doubt you'll be able to find any evidence of what happened here. But you might come across the atmospheric sensors. They have to be somewhere. If you find any of them, just come back here. I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one you can find, even if they're broken. No idea whatsoever. I figure it's a real long shot you'd ever spot one. But I also figure it wouldn't hurt to ask. I don't suppose you found any...
I'm here.
Yes?
Admiral, this is Mikal. I have found the exile.
Yes?
I hear you.
I see you have found the elusive Master Vrook. He's told me that his rescue complicated our situation to some degree. I can't say that I anticipated that. I thank you for finding him, though. Vrook has informed me that the mercenaries devised a plan of attack to annihilate Kunda itself. I must ask for your aid again, Jedi. Zeron says that even with a plan, the mercenaries have to gather their forces, then coordinate their assault. So we still have time. I'm afraid the militia has not been adequately trained for the task that befalls them. Right now, just us and the militia. I don't want to create a needless panic. But be assured I will make sure that all civilians are warned in time, so they can get to safety. Though if we lose this battle, nowhere on Dantooine will be safe for settlers for long. Our militia is effective at peacekeeping, but isn't prepared for a full-scale battle. If you can do anything to ready them for the reality of it, that would be helpful. Besides that, look around Kunda and see what you can do to strengthen our defenses. I know that we don't have the perimeter turrets online, and that alone could make a significant difference. Zeron says there is a considerable chance they will breach Kunda itself. Anything you can do to slow them down could turn the tide of battle. Here is a MasterCard key that will open all of the security doors inside Kunda. Anything that might aid you in your task, please use. Soon, all the civilians will be evacuated. So if you have any business with them, I suggest you take care of it. Whenever you are ready to finalize the defenses, talk with Zeron.
I'm here.
What is it?
Zeron was right about the mercenaries all along.
Thanks, stranger. I should be back to duty in no time. The gun turret. Thanks, stranger.
I see you have found the... I haven't... Right there. I haven't... I'm a...
Yes?
I'm here.
I was right about you. You are trouble, but you might just be the right sort of trouble we need. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to find luck? You sure? Once we're done with that, there may not be any time left before the mercenaries attack. All right, then we got a lot to do.
Since you are here to bolster Kunda's defense, I will hurry to the mercenary camp and delay their assault however I can.
I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed. The administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us and Kunda's defenses. Thanks to you, they're gonna have a tougher job. That's about it. Now we just need to dig in and wait for the mercs to come. Let's get ready for the mercenary.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand aside. Our quarrel is with a distinguished administrator. This isn't your problem. Is that supposed to convince me, Jedi? I was trained by the Sith. My unit killed many Jedi. I'll give you one last chance. Leave the administrator to her fate. She's inconvenient and doesn't know the chain of command. She will pay for that. Sensible. I will order my men to leave you be. Now, if you'll excuse me.
The Republic won't stand for what you've done here. You'll pay for your crimes.
I was going to make it a painless death, but you've been much more difficult than you had to be. Now you're going to pay.
There was little could be done about the administrator's death. Jedi can turn the tide of a battle, but we were never meant to fight a war by ourselves. The Dantooine settlers will have to find new strength amongst them. Otherwise who knows how long they'll last. In any case, I am free to talk about whatever you wish. We're at war, but it is unlike any war we have fought before. We have yet to even meet our attackers in battle. Somehow our enemy is targeting us through the Force, striking, then retreating to the shadows. The gathering of any Jedi seems to attract them like a beacon. So it was necessary to divide our forces and conceal ourselves for a time until we could learn more of this threat. Great tragedies, old battlegrounds. Places of suffering all leave wounds on the galaxy and in the Force. In such places the deaths of so many echo. So much so that it is difficult to center oneself. By coming here, those echoes serve to mask my presence. allowing me to investigate the ruins and try to find some clues as to who our attackers are. The Miraluka world of Qatar taught us a terrible lesson. Many Jedi gathered there in an attempt to use the Force to find the location of the enemy. Now the planet is no more. Master Zar, Master Dorak, and many more perished there, and we do not know why or how. But all life on the planet ceased to exist. I was not on Qatar when it was destroyed, but now that it is dead, it has left its echo, like Dantooine. It was after Qatar that the few of us left realized that wherever we gathered, we were placing others in danger, not just Jedi. You have more questions for me? Because you defied the Council and followed Revan to war. And from that war came another. Do you know how many worlds were destroyed in those wars? Dantooine, Telos, Sirocco? Do you see now why we counseled caution instead of action? You were the only one to come back and face judgment. But that was because you had lost your connection to the Force. Another casualty of war. No doubt you still blame us for your exile. I had hoped your isolation would give you time to reflect on what had happened, what you had done. But I see it as not. Do you have more questions for me? Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon Dantooine. Only murderers and raiders. Why would they attack you? You are no Jedi. You cannot feel the Force. For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Your trial was not public knowledge. Regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means the Jedi may gather. If you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, then we shall gather here on Dantooine. And from there we may decide what can be done. You have more questions for me? I suppose there is something I should show you. It will keep you alive long enough to prove it. I'm only going to demonstrate this once. This is the Sheen form, a defensive stance that's good when you're outnumbered, which is most of the time. This form will increase your ability to deflect blaster fire, and it increases the odds of dealing critical strikes against your attackers. I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
Our business is concluded, Jedi.
I've got nothing more to say to you.
What is it?
Ready. Yes?
I hear you.
Yes?
I hear you.
You a new salvager? Or one of... Oh, is that so? I'm gonna give you some if you're not going to... And they're now dead, fool. So, if you... Less sell... I've been here, though. Sometimes I sell them... You should have let me know you're a customer.
I'm here.
What is it?
General, need something. Yes? Let me see what you have. No, yes. Something else I can... Sure do, General. I've made a few while I wasn't... Just remember, the best shield is not getting shot at all. Something...
My lightsaber. You destroyed it. I yield, Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours. Kill me. I beg you. It was not my wish to challenge you. And I must pay the price. I have nothing to offer you. Your strength is superior. It is as I felt.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy. Yeah, they're a pretty secretive race. I heard that some of their kind become Jedi, but a Sith? That's a new one. I'm not sure how you go about killing one. It'd be tricky. I heard they had a colony on the Midrim, almost halfway between Onderon and Dantooine. Then, it wasn't there anymore. The whole planet was wiped out. Nothing left alive. No one knows why. Well, it was a planet of her people. If they see through the Force, who knows? If they're all Force-sensitive, maybe they all saw something through the Force that we can't see, and they left before it happened. Or maybe it killed them. They claim to see on a higher plane than we do. You know, the whole Force thing makes me nervous. Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though. I think she'll recover, yeah.
She is a threat to us. I am not asking that she be harmed or interrogated, but she is of the Sith, and she has attacked us once.
General? Yes? Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with the workbench.
I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you. I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek. The scars are many and the causes equally so. It is of no importance. I felt you. Heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know. And that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me, even if I could lead you to my master. I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready. If I bring you before my master, untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. I cannot, I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found. You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready. There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so. There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And Qatar, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died, and the Jedi died, and there was no one left, only me. He cannot deny his hunger for long, and any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence. Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me? I must warn you, if you weaken yourself for me, then it will kill you. So you say, but it is not something I have observed or seen. I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories, or the planet itself. Very well. Perhaps we shall speak more of this at another time. But know this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me.
Well, here we are, the Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddah's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If you wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot. It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. Finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in. Or find you once you arrive. Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice. Not everyone who came to Nar Shaddaa were soldiers. A lot of worlds were destroyed by the Mandalorians and the Jedi. Left a lot of people wandering the galaxy. It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years. Yeah, some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers, so others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy. I've plotted a course for the refugee sector and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's gonna find us here.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While he walks upon the smuggler's moon, he is not to be harmed. You may watch him, observe his movements, but nothing more. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Don't want to susinto karata.
Panisukokran, Jokramata, Storshba, Joanna Masaranka, Ma Ramazurata, Keso Juskrita Lorsa.
Loka Kamaran Endoso Ranwi no Chabi. Du Rantamana Sobu, Febko Emariam, Gawata Situ Insula Raka Rakachata. Tamaso Kinchuda Waka.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Tahupo Botenya go Jucho Picha, Gwentabani Sochu, no Joanna Masaranka Ma Ramazurata, Kawana Bota Atagwa Kanka Dewa, Yuta.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Honta no sak, Jito no Tocha, Tocha Ramakaka Musurankana, Honta no sak, Jita Perwana Maticha, Sima Chatam, Doma Researcha Makaran.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Never have I been to a place so alive with the Force, yet so dead to it. The contrast is like a blade.
Word of warning, watch where you step. You'll fall for hours. Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system. Yeah, in all its glory. Don't get your hopes up from what you see here, though. As soon as we hit the main sector, that's when the smell and the mobs can get pretty bad. Sure, most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think. Alright then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions. It makes detection difficult.
The moon is a swarming cloak, a shadow of emotions. It is an effective shield, but if we come near the Jedi, I may be able to see him.
You will not come near the Jedi. I will not allow it.
You mistake my intentions. I care nothing for this Jedi. But if finding him will speed our journey, then I will aid you in your search.
We do not need your assistance, Dark Jedi.
Enough. This moon does not get any smaller while we debate. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible. Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad! It'll be fine where it is. Yeah, I guess you're right. And by right, I mean you're wrong. Telling me it'll be fine where it is. What, you think I'm stupid? I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it? That's none of your business. All you need to know is that they're gonna be firing up their quad lasers if they find your ship squatting there when they arrive. Yeah, right now all I'm hearing is talk. How much you offering? Damn! Pleasure doing business with you. I got some visitors booked for your space, but I'm sure the two of you can work it out when they arrive.
No! Look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in.
Let us test ourselves.
Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure. Alright, what do you want then? Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately. You don't. He comes to you, if he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing. The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it. Whatever your reasons, thanks.
The honor is...
Thanks for your help. If you save me to cripple me again, then you're worse. Well,
Whatever your reasons.
Spare a few credits, friend? All right. I don't know much beyond the refugee sector here, but I can share what I know. No, should I? He doesn't sound like a Hutt. What, is he a bounty hunter or an exchange boss? This sector's filled with refugees from the Jedi Civil War, and even as far back as the Mandalorian Wars. Refugees and war veterans both. And anyone else who was rendered homeless by the war. The Jedi destroyed planets across the galaxy, and here's where the wreckage ended up. A lot of space lanes cross at Nar Shaddaa, and once here, it's hard to move on. Even fighter pilots from the war can't get work at the docks. The freighter crews are full up. There's no work here and no way out, unless you want to become a hired muscle for the exchange, or work in a Hutt slave camp. Friend, you did promise some credits in exchange for information.
I saw what you did to those exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need? Forgive me, stranger, but if you had some credits you could spare, it would be a great help. Please. Forgive me, stranger, please. I beg you, do not kill me.
Why did you do such a thing? Giving into your feelings over such a small matter. They would be better served elsewhere. And what would you rather do? The Force binds all things. The smallest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. These acts of cruelty may have more severe repercussions than you know, or can see. Indeed, listen, feel the echo. Cruelty leads to suffering, and when one suffers, it is the way of life to spread suffering. The suffering within builds until its sound is all one hears. And when a kindness is offered, it is punished, and a greater darkness is served. From one act can come tremendous power when the echo has traveled as far as it can. Send a great echo, and power will come to you. The day shall come when you can test your strength, I promise you.
And what did he want?
Not much. Just answers to some questions.
Really? Interesting.
Gerektala cemense bingaru rukutodo unde chuchamataso benkisha. Terewana jun konata della raguno tuna. Dai Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto kurukata. Terewana jun konata della raguno tuna. Terewana jun konata della raguno. Der vinturunto wakare koe wapgerebu. Nenso telepachan korsada nane gra. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto kurukata. Fiore pada no. Terewana jun konata della raguno tuna. Dai rinturu, ona jun seni sensen dra. Docent horinteri. Relive curunto son mele grima con corregin basa.
Yes? You may have. Before entering Atris's service, yes, I carried a name, as all the children of the Ichani do. It is not important. My title and rank is of consequence, not my name. I take value in Atris's service, not in myself. We all have value in our oaths to others, and the promises we make. When we make that pledge, we are pledging ourselves to something greater. When importance is placed on the self, then by such acts the galaxy is unmade. If reasons of the self is why you turned away, then yes, perhaps there was a judgment there, but it was not intended as an attack. I do not know. That is a question you must ask yourself. I meant no offense, but the question remains. If the question angers you, oftentimes there is a reason for such anger.
Hey, I saw that ship you flew in on. My ship. It's the Ebon Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars. The registry's 34 P7JK. It's got a temperamental hyperdrive, and the turrets can be sluggish and unresponsive against fast-moving fighters. She's also got 2 secret compartments, one in the cargo hold, right near the plasteel cylinders in the back, and the second beneath the bunks in the starboard cabin. So, you admit it's not yours. How did you come by it anyway? Who did you buy it from? We'll see about that. Watch yourself. Nar Shaddaa can be a rough place.
Graci, ubaci kompadwana mus. Nora hagwa buska, yokola lauba. Charn, otos, irema keres.
A weakness is revealed.
The bounty hunters have been laying low recently, like they're waiting for something.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you. It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare. I'm surprised you can feel it. I fear the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force, their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life. One might as well move the universe, but such manipulation is possible, yes. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination. Not in the sense you understand it. The ability to fool the minds of others, to dominate them on a massive scale that you speak of, is not achieved best through raw power. Manipulation is done through propelling events, or selected ones, into motion. It is done through teaching, through example, and through conviction. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth of what you believe, of hearing it echoed around you in life. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment, for as long as it will last.
Doverinincha, Yonona Shitasa Chuch, Uanatu Mobayes, Dorcha no Bankani. Torsenda Winota.
Harmony 20 was a turn up again. Harmony 20 was a turn up again. Much that never knew what you want for now. Vashni Vadina Mashna or Huna Kimi Wadnina. Harmony 20 was a turn up again. Much that never knew what you Harmony Vashni Mahina Hala.
Oh, hello. You have caught me at a rare time. Usually there are many players who seek to play, but you are fortunate to have caught me at a moment of quiet. I fear it is because I am simply not a skilled Pazak player. I'm afraid protocol droid skills and language interpretation are not something that lend themselves to Pizak and probability.
I swear half of these players must have skifters up their sleeves.
Manansa kapuna wasiro toke. Tono tocha? Tocha.
Fedko Mariam Gawatasitu Insula Rakarakachi. Donos Emaragith. One. Tonoranga Marakaran. Loka Kamaran and Dosoran with no Chabi.
So, you have the look of a seasoned spacer about you. What backwash you looking for? Well, honestly, there's not much for people like you and I to do around here, if you catch my meaning. Well, there is plenty for them to do. The Pizak Den, swoop races, the Jet Tar, they're pretty much taken care of. Now there's a place that's literally deadly for our kind. Jek Tar is a bar filled with cyanogen gas. It's poisonous to you and I, but the aliens drink it up and pay good money to do so. The cyanogen gas also acts as a social buffer, since the people who typically frequent Jek Tar aren't interested in speaking to the likes of you and I in the first place.
Tarachomo sincho kavavolpa muliji kumananin kawana bota yuntata. Unta chivita inka ki krai dovre kun mili wosas. Kawana bota yuntatanga kinamatura. Tayaita chone mulera. Tonkinge ba no jansaka ni ke chubo grayo bog no kada itapa tits gavadumpa munsuru kuplalia.
No.
Ta come tak plaia justing miki gonko beaste kun grabi la king no mularaki.
Do not volunteer me so easily. There are certain favors that I would not perform even for you, and especially not for a hut. Find another way. Yes, that will be fine.
I have not trained in the dance, but the Echani fighting arts are very dance-like in their movements. I do not think it would be a stretch for me to do this.
Dahupa o Sakurata go jujuto yoki.
If you want me to, yes, I will do this for you. I would have no problem with it, truly. It is not much more than the fighting I am used to.
Temopachinsa Kranita impetisa chong talita.
Put this on?
Kawana bota yuntatanga kinamatur.
In that case, give it to me, and I will prepare myself.
Kawana bota yuntatanga. Great King no una panca. Kawana bota yuntatanga kinamatura. Tayaita tabosananansata. Kawana bota yuntatanga kinamatura.
Watabrito kchimulira. Nicho tankamo.
Kawana bota yuntatanga kinamatura. Tayaita entomesh mi paju. Watamincha yokolondo ado nukut.
Yes? You may.
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachimorosa kansa.
Parashnivala, Penavinish, Nibidinish, Napashniva, Yatavana, Nivinend of Narodeva, Pudura.
Greetings. I am B5D8. How may I assist you? This is a warehouse privately owned by Volga the Hutt. Your specific business-related inquiries will have to be directed to Volga himself. I am not authorized to disclose any information of that nature. However, I can say that this is an entirely droid-operated facility, and as such, we purchase droids for use here. We only purchase droids in larger amounts. If you have a droid you wish to sell, I would ask that you take it to Codin. Greetings. We only purchase droids from sanctioned traders. If you wish to sell your droid, I would suggest you sell it to Codin.
Looks more like one of the Sith to me. Hanhar. I thought I smelled something.
I've told you before, hunt your own targets. Don't scavenge mine. What, working for the Hutt suddenly made you stupider, Hanhar? You touch me, you'll break the truce. And then you won't last long enough to slip off this moon. Don't, Hanhar. I'm warning you. I don't want your life dead, Hanhar. I told you. Yeah, you're right. I'm afraid. I'm afraid if you keep crushing me, I'll accidentally set off my rocket charges and blow us both to Nal Hutta. I'd rather die than be caught by you again, Hanhar.
Finish. Finish.